Corporate high flyer Oliver Quambusch was 37 years old, living in London when he dedicated his life to Jesus. He had learned the basics of the Christian faith at the well-known Alpha Course, a series of talks on the meaning of life. His life would never be the same.
When I became a Christian in 2001, I had done my MBA, I had joined an executive search firm, I had set up 2 businesses, and then I actually joined a fashion company. Financially, it was very lucrative. I loved the parties, I loved the lifestyle, but ultimately the pursuit of fashion is very, very shallow. I really prayed that, God would show me what He really wants me to do every single day. I said, God, I love what I'm doing, but I know this is not what You have for me. Please show me, what do You want me to do, what You want me to do, and where You want me to do it. And after 4 years of praying this intently every day, on a Friday afternoon in May 2005, I really felt that God spoke to me. I was at church in Holborn, where I was as part of a church plant. I sat in what we called the Holy Spirit Chapel. And I said to God again, what is it? He said, I want you to do my work. And I'm like, but what's your work? Do I have to become a priest or a monk or a pastor? And he said, I will show you my work and you will know that this is the work that I have for you.
Oliver found himself volunteering at a new baby shelter in Yeovil, a suburb of Johannesburg, for the 2005 December holidays.
I remember that very well. We walked up the stairs and I really felt God saying, you see, this is what I want you to do. And this is where, this is where it is. And I was actually shocked. I was shocked because, I love children. I didn't have children of my own at the time. I had only nappy changed, kind of 3 nappies in my life.
Heading home after holidays to his life in London, the pastor in charge of the Johannesburg orphanage asked him if he'd consider staying on in an unpaid position. He rallied prayer partners to seek God's guidance.
Every prayer that I received there and subsequently in the lead up to making my decision confirmed this is absolutely where I should be. I, worked my 3 months notice period and I arrived back here in South Africa in May. I knew I was exactly in God's will, where He wanted me. One issue that God had put onto my heart more and more were HIV positive children. I really believe if God blesses you, He blesses you for the benefit of someone else. He has blessed me tremendously in order to take care of children who might not have a male role model otherwise in their lives.
Selling some last business shares he had left in London, Oliver could fund setting up Hotel Hope to give a home to abandoned babies in 2008.
I was able to buy the 2 semi-detached homes here in Melville. I knew I would live in one part and the other part we would prepare as our first children's home. I really believe we, if it's too comfortable, it's actually not from God. And God is not interested in our comfort. He's actually interested in our response to the situations that He puts us in. God really, from the first day, actually, had a plan for me. This is the culmination, because I really, in that time, for the first time, realized was how little we actually can live, and we live very well. And, that possessions are often, a hindrance and keep us somewhere, shackled, instead of, having the freedom of, giving things away, living, quite minimalist, and, being able to follow God's call. There was another event that definitely shaped me and that really prepared me for South Africa and doing more than I was doing in corporate life. I actually witnessed a suicide on public transport in London. On a Saturday morning at 7:30, a woman who stood 10 meters away from me decided to take her life by jumping in front of the oncoming tube. And I was a Christian then, and I really battled with the fact that we as a Christian community hadn't been able to reach her before she made that very, very difficult decision to kill herself. And I must say, I mean, that event is so ingrained in my, in my psyche and in my brain. I could probably draw the lady still now. But I really felt, God, I don't want anyone else to, go through such difficult things and not be helped in a positive way. Let me be the help.
Oliver works with other Josie organizations and schools to help teenagers in crisis because he can see the long-term consequences of unwanted pregnancies for women and children firsthand.
A few things that I definitely know for sure, and I think they give me such strength, and I work out of that, kind of strength, and I am out of that strength, is I am loved, I am forgiven, and my future is secure, and I don't have to worry about those three huge issues that before I was a Christian, I grappled with and I battled with and I worried about. So this is to me, the forgiveness of Christ is probably the best thing that anyone could wish for and, anyone can attain.
In a country with the greatest inequality in the world, Oliver's harnessing the power of a charity shop to cover some running costs.
We now have 3 homes with a capacity of 24 children, but we've had 130 children since 2011, which means 105 children have actually been adopted out of our homes. And that is a brilliant number in the South African context, because we don't only have an orphan crisis, we also have an adoption crisis. And sadly, in 2021, there are fewer adoptions today than there were in 2011. So my call, and particularly to the Christian community, is really to, go for adoption as a, as a child protection mechanism, as a part of child protection, but also because it's very biblical. I mean, even Jesus, was actually the adopted child of Joseph. Joseph was not the biological father. And I think if it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for you and me.
Oliver has given 2 boys their very own forever home.
And I have to say, this is, they are the reason why I'm still sane. They are the reason why I am, kind of happy to get up every single day. They're my absolute, pride and joy. I really believe God, doesn't pull you out of something. He pulls you into something.